Welcome to SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy. Well, today there was a surf contest on the south side of the pier, so we had to move further south or go to the north, so we chose to go further south down by, well, where the new mall is, basically, which is about a quarter mile down the beach. But just as we got there, the wind came up, so it started to look a little choppy. But we went out anyway and paddled out. First little bit as the wind was coming, I was thinking it was too cold that I should just go back home. But we didn't. We stayed out. And so some sets rolled in. I took off on about a shoulder-high wave, dropped down, went left, just flying across, just a lot faster than I thought it was going to be because the waves weren't all that good and they were bumpy. So, but I took off, made some good turns, and I thought, oh, okay, maybe it's not going to be as bad as I originally thought. And so we had one of the rookies with us again today. He was out of town for a while, but he got back, and he was having the best day of all of us, just catching waves left and right, and kind of showing us older guys up. So there you go. You never know what's going to happen. But it was still a little cold, but if you kept moving, it wasn't bad. Got some, as we started drifting further north, started getting closer to the contest, and things got, a little better for a while. The wind stopped and the waves were okay. So it did okay for about a half an hour, and then the wind came back up again and made it very unpleasant again. And by now we're bordering along the contest and running into a lot more people where we started down by the mall, which is past the lifeguards headquarters there. It was we were the only three people out as far as we could see to the south and to the north, a quarter mile to where the surf contest started. That was it. There was just nobody in the water, so you didn't have to fight for waves. They came to you. You just took them. So that was good. You didn't have to worry about running into people or people running into you. It was pretty good. On a side note, this morning the news was showing the crab infestation. Thousands of crabs being washed up on the beach, and they're small little red crabs. They're not really edible. I mean, you could eat them, but it'd be so little flesh. They're so small. They're only about an inch or two. They look more like crawfish than crabs, but just thousands of them washed up on the shore. So the whole shore's red with these crabs. And right down there, mostly down by Golden West, north of the pier, otherwise called Dog Beach. So I'm sure the dogs were having quite a fun day with that. I did not go down to see them. We stayed to the south, but the news guy showed some footage of the crabs, so that's interesting. I think it's the warmer water, they claim. I don't know what causes the fish or the whales and whatever to beach themselves. I mean, we've had three whales beach over the last week. So I don't know what causes that. I'm sure if you look it up, Google it, they'll tell you why whales. The first one, the big one by Trestles, died of old age. One that was floating out to sea that finally landed on the beach, they don't know what caused that one. And there was a third one down by Bolsa Chica that landed on the beach. So they're just the circle of life, I guess. I don't know. Yesterday we saw a seahorse, very rare. Today we had crabs beaching themselves. So what do you do? I don't know. Nature does its thing. There's not much we can do about it. So surf was okay. We're thinking about going to San Onofre tomorrow, checking the surf reports and see. The tide looks right. Last time I looked at the cameras, the tide was minus and it was way out, and all you could see were just 100 foot of rock that you have to walk across to get to the surf, which is not fun. I have to remember to bring my booties tomorrow to make sure that I can walk on those rocks without scraping up my feet. So San Onofre has, when it's really super low tide like that, it's difficult to get out, and it's a little scary on and hitting the rocks with your head or the board or whatever. So we'll see what happens tomorrow at San Onofre if we go. I mean, it's been fairly good here, just that the wind came up today. Yesterday was great. The day before that was greater. And so, really, you never know what's going to happen. But the tide's starting to work its way back in, so a high tide today was 9-something, and tomorrow it'll be close to 10 o'clock. The tide will be out, so it'll start up higher, which is good for San Onofre. Huntington, medium tide is probably the best all around by the pier, and it varies as you go north and south. There are sections that the low tide works better, like down the cliff area between the two cliffs, the gap, we call it. Sometimes that's really better on the lower tides. But the water's getting a little warmer, the air's getting warmer, so summer's really close now. So we'll be doing some super surfing here hopefully real soon. But it's been a pretty good week so far. Today was a little rough, a little cold, but I managed to get some really good waves. Quite a few of them, especially when you don't have to fight for them. So good job. Good deal today. Not as smooth, not as glassy, a little windy and cold, but you got to, take that with the fact that there's no one out and you're getting all the waves you want. So what's better, what's worse, I don't know. Sorry, I had to take a little break there for a second, but I'm back. For you, it was not even a second probably. But just sum it up. Good day today. A little choppy, a little windy, but great. Catching the last wave in is always, I don't know, it seems like when you're ready to go in, there's no waves to catch. But we were waiting for our last ride, and I took one, took a little left, couple little turns, and just kind of rode out the foam there for a minute, and laid down on the board and tried to stay with the wave for as long as I could, and then kind of paddle a bit. But the wave wasn't big enough to connect to the inside, and I was surfing. Burke caught the same wave that I did. And I looked to my right and my left, and Craig hadn't caught his wave yet, so Burke decided to go back out, and I just stayed there on the shore break and tried to catch a couple little ones. And then I saw Craig coming in, so I went in, and we looked back out, and now Burke's outside waiting for a wave. And we waited for a minute, and all of a sudden a set came to him, and it looked like a pretty good wave, so he took off on it and went his right, and caught it and was riding great. And then he kind of went to his left a little bit and rode a little bit in that direction. Then he started to connect to the inside, and he had to turn back to the right, and he was trying to trim up the board to keep it in the wave, which kind of took a couple of steps towards the nose. And as he did that, the board started to catch back into the second break there and started to drop down at the bottom of the wave. And as he did that, he had to walk back and step on the back so he can bring the nose around and face the other direction. That's the way the wave was going. And so he turned it to his left and rode that all the way to the sand. He just kept riding it. That was the longest and best ride of the day was Burke's ride in. And he was pretty stoked, and we were all on the shore, yelling, yeah, trim it up, no, turn. And it was just very exciting to watch that. So that was kind of a nice, exciting rush there at the end. And we headed back to the truck and made our way home. So here we are, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. We've got, hopefully look at San Onofre if we go there. If not, we'll probably be back in Huntington somewhere. Until then, while you're waiting, go to Merch Hero and Task Bullet and nappyclothing.com and check out their websites. Let me know what you think. All right, thanks for listening. See you soon. Bye.